the square root of 16 minus 30i. Let's let that equal a plus b lots of I then, and square both sides and see what we get. So squaring both sides gives, so the square of the square root is just what's inside, 16 minus 30i. Square this side, we'll get a squared, and then the last term will be minus b squared, won't it? And the two middle terms will give plus 2abi. There we go. So we can equate the reals and complex coefficients, imaginary coefficients. So it's 16 equals a squared minus b squared. 16, that's number 1. And the imaginaries, minus 30 is equal to 2ab. And that tells us then that b is equal to, minus 30 over 2 is minus 15 over a. This is number 2. Sub 2 in 1 then. Gives. So let's see what we get. So we get a squared minus b squared, which is minus 15 over a squared equals 16. Good. So we get, let's just square all this then. We get a squared minus, this squared is 225, 15 squared is 225 over a squared is equal to 16 times through by a squared now then, all the way through. And that gives a to the 4, or a squared squared. We can leave it as, because it's a quadratic in a squared, isn't it? We're going to get minus the 16, lots of a squared, and then the minus 225 would just be a single number, equals 0. So 15 15s, which is also 45 3s. So let's solve this with the formula then. Here's our quadratic. Here, a squared then is equal to minus b, so that will be 16, won't it? Plus or minus the square root of b squared, 16 squared minus 4, times a, which is one of those, times c, which is minus 225. All over 2 lots of a. And the number of a's, the first term is 1 in the formula. So, 16 squared. 16 squared plus 4 times 225. Let's get a calculator to do that. So, 16 squared then. Plus 4 times 225. 4 times 225 equals 1156. If it's square roots, 1156 equals 34. That's good. So we got equals to 16 plus or minus 34 over 2. So a squared is equal to, well, it's going to be just the plus side of it, isn't it? Because a squared we can't have a negative here because a is a real number. So it will be 16 plus 34 is 50 over 2, which is 25. And that tells us that a is 5, plus or minus 5. There we go. So now we can work out b is equal to, so what's b? Minus 15 over a, minus 15 over a. Okay, so finally then, a plus ib is equal to, well, the first one is plus 5, and then if a is plus 5, we've got minus 15 over 5 is minus 3 for b, which is I, and then we've got a is minus 5, and here we'll have minus 5 underneath. Minus over minus is a plus. 15 over 5 is 3. There's the value of b when a is minus 5. So we've got that. Now let's just square it in our mind's eye. We've got 25 minus 9. It'll be 16. 16 and then 2 15s are minus 16 minus 30i, which is what we started with. So that should, yeah, that's fine. So we're quite happy with those answers given.